The movie opens with a Mexican guy carrying a bouquet to the hospital for his sick mother. He asks a nurse to leave for their privacy, yet soon a nurse chokes him with a string, killing him instantly. Later, the nurse reveals himself to be a contract killer known as Alex, and he messages his client that the work is done. Somewhere else, a man named Sarah comes to meet Leon, who sells his 13-year-old daughter Beatrice to sleep with men. Sarah pays him and gets Beatrice into the bedroom, but Beatrice finds out Sarah is an FBI agent and quickly calls out to her dad. Soon, Leon is covered up by the FBI and he takes Beatrice as a hostage. Unfortunately, Leon is killed when Sarah pushes him out of the window. In Mexico, Alex approaches his friend Mauricio to inform him that he is quitting being a contract killer. However, Mauricio has received 2 more contracts from a client for Alex to complete and lets Alex know that killers don't retire. At the hotel, Alex meets up with William, who hires Alex for his boss. William provides him with a case of weapons, and Alex assures him that the job will be done quickly. The first target he has to deal with is known as Ellis. He then prepares his weapon and gets ready for the job. At the central processing facility, Beatrice accuses Sarah of killing her father. He tries to explain he didn't mean to, and what her father did to her isn't right. However, Sarah doesn't want Beatrice to be locked up there, and informs her he will transfer her to Child Protective Services. At Ellis's mansion, his wife Wendy approaches him to get him ready for the party, but Ellis is too busy with his work, and he has to get it done tonight. He asks her to go first, and he will arrive there when he finishes his work. Later, as Ellis prepares to leave, he is confronted by Alex, who threatens him to get something. After Ellis opens the security box, he is choked to death right away. The following morning, Sarah and his colleague Linda come to investigate the death of Ellis. Wendy explains what happened that night, but since she hasn't reported it to the police yet, Sarah gets Detective Mora to work with her instead to make things easier. Alex then goes to see his brother, who is staying in a care center. His brother seems worse and can no longer speak due to old age. Alex shows him a coin that holds many memories of their time together since 1969, reminding him of everything they did back then. He gives the coin to him and immediately leaves as he couldn't bear to see his brother like this. Marquez, who is also Sarah's colleague, is no longer needed in the FBI. Due to the raid on Leon, the task force is reorganized and Gerald will send Marquez back to Mexico. Later, Sarah brings Beatrice to a group home and Beatrice becomes Alex's second target. On that night, Alex breaks into the house and attempts to kill her, but when he finds out she is a child, he is shocked and can't bring himself to do it. The next day, Alex confronts William to inform him he won't kill Beatrice. Alex threatens him to call his boss to remove the contract, and the things Alex has stolen from Ellis's mansion are flash drives William wants. If William does what Alex has told him, Alex will give him the flash drives. William contacts Devana Seelman, his boss, to report on what Alex wants, and he also has Ellis's flash drives. William reveals he knows the contents of those flash drives, which could be a problem for Devana. However, she will handle Alex by herself and warns William not to call her again. At the bar, Alex teaches a lesson to a drunk guy who is messing around with a beautiful lady. He then takes her to sleep with him, and that night he has a nightmare about killing Beatrice. The following day, Sarah discovers Beatrice has been killed. As Alex prepares to leave the hotel, he hears the news about Beatrice's death and wonders if he was at the hotel the previous night. He is shocked when the lady states he was there, and he tells her to leave the hotel immediately and act as if they never met for her safety. When Marquez is about to leave for the airport, he also hears the news about Beatrice and chooses not to leave instead. Alex suddenly knows the killers are present at the parking lot because of the broken security camera, and he finds a bomb placed under his car as well. However, the killer is Mauricio, Alex's friend, who also works for Devana and is the one who killed Beatrice. As the lady approaches Alex to get the pills for him, she is shot dead right away. He bursts out in anger and gets out to fight with Mauricio. Later, Alex gets the opportunity to beat him up, ties him in the car along with the lady and blows them up. Detective Mora then reports the deaths of Mauricio and the lady to Sarah. They also find Alex's pills, which don't match anything in their database, and Mora takes them to the lab to run the chemical test. Marquez approaches Sarah to inform him he can't go back to Mexico. However, Sarah gives him permission to stay in the US and work with him on Beatrice's case. At the gym, while William is working out, suddenly he sees a man coming toward him and he is shot dead, instantly revealing it to be Alex. Alex then goes to his hideout to check what is on Ellis's flash drives. He discovers it is the voice recording of Devana threatening to kill Ellis. He checks another flash drive and sees Beatrice being abused by her dad and Randy Seelman, who is Devana's son. There is also a flash drive of Randy forcing Beatrice to sleep with him. However, Alex is tearing up and is hurt watching Randy do this to a child. Later, Sarah and his team come to investigate William's death. He reports to Gerald that the killer who killed William might be the same killer who also killed Beatrice and the lady back then, because they have the same bullet model on every corpse. Sarah assumes the killer is Mexican, and he is going to need Marquez to get ahead of him. Thus, Gerald allows Sarah to do what he has to do. On that night, Sarah and Marquez make their way to gather some information about William from his his wife Marianne. The following day, Randy panics and rushes to see his mom, informing her about William's death and assuming Alex is close to them. However, she calms him down and orders him to leave the city after the party tomorrow night. Sarah then gets a phone call from Alex, who lets him know that he is the one who killed Ellis and William. Alex states that Beatrice was killed by Mauricio, and he wants revenge for her. As he knows Sarah also cares for Beatrice, he needs Sarah to finish this job for him if he isn't able to. Later, Marquez comes to ask Marianne about her husband if she ever heard William talk to a man named Alex. However, she stays out of William's business, but she once heard William talk about a man from Mexico City, which is actually Alex, and she reveals he was talking to Devana Seelman. Marquez takes this information to Sarah, and Linda discovers that William is one of Randy Seelman's lawyers. Surprisingly, Randy's company owns the central processing facility where they sent Beatrice. Sarah finds out Beatrice and her father were at the facility last year for 3 weeks, but then they were deported. However, Ellis also worked in the facility as a builder, and everyone associated with this facility is dead. Sarah assumes that Alex is going to kill Randy next. At the party night, Linda and her team also join to protect Randy from Alex. As Sarah comes across the broken pill bottle of Alex, he quickly informs his team that Alex is already on the boat. Randy brings one of the maids to sleep with him, and soon Alex shows up in Randy's toilet room. He orders the lady to lock the door when he leaves and kills Randy right away. As Sarah sees Alex leaving the party, he follows him until they reach the boat's port. There, Sarah falls into Alex's trap, and Alex introduces himself. Sarah wants to talk with him a bit, yet he refuses, and soon Marquez arrives attempting to shoot Alex, but is stopped by Sarah. While Alex leaves, he still gets shot in the belly and continues his way to his hideout. However, Alex is approached by a patrolman while he's asleep in his car. After he wakes up, he shoots him dead immediately. In his hideout, he painfully treats his wound and disassembles his gun. Linda and Sarah then search Alex's background. They find reports that mistakenly state Alex died with his father in the family bakery 40 years ago, and the hideout where Alex currently stays is actually his family bakery. Marquez goes to Alex's bakery to investigate, and Alex is in the basement room. When Alex becomes aware that someone is in the building, he quickly reassembles the pieces of his gun. As Marquez is unaware of the basement room, he decides to retreat. At the meeting, Sarah and his team don't realize a man from Mexico City is Alex yet. However, Marquez informs them Alex's bakery is full of pigeons. Upon hearing this, Linda informs them that the place where the patrolman was killed has a trace of pigeon poop on the floor. Later that night, Sarah and his team cover up the bakery to capture Alex, but they find Alex is no longer there. Devana's office is guarded by many cops to protect her from Alex. Suddenly, the sirens of the cop cars go off, and the cops quickly move to see what's happening, but they find nothing. It's just Alex's plan to distract the cops from the entrance. Soon, Alex shows up at Devana's office with a cop as a hostage, and a shooting ensues. Alex then shoots down a chandelier to shut off the lights and makes his way to the rooftop. The cops follow him but have no idea where he is. However, Alex drops down with a rope and later arrives at Devana's office again. He knocks Detective Mora out and attempts to assassinate Devana, but unfortunately his gun is broken, which gives Mora enough time to knock him unconscious. Detective Mora then brings Alex into the interrogation room to beat him up, but he is stopped by the cop as Alex needs medical attention. Linda receives 2 flash drives from Alex's bakery and brings them to Sarah. They use those flash drives and appear furious. We can assume it is a video of Randy forcing Beatrice to sleep with him. Sarah provides this video to Gerald and asks him to transfer Alex from Mora to their custody instead, because Sarah needs to talk to him. Sarah then goes to meet Alex at the hospital, and Alex reveals that he was hired by Devana to kill Ellis and Beatrice. At Devana's office, she hires her friend Dr. Joseph to inject poison and kill Alex for $10 million. However, Dr. Joseph can't bring himself to do it, but Devana threatens to prosecute him and send him to prison for sleeping with minors. Back at the hospital, Alex wants justice for Beatrice as Devana hired him to kill a child. Sarah needs evidence to pursue justice, but it's not guaranteed. Sarah reveals the truth to Alex about justice, that 12 months ago his wife and son were hit by a drunk driver, and to this day that driver is still out there. Alex tells them he has evidence of Devana threatening to kill Ellis on a flash drive. However, he doesn't remember where he hid it and needs Sarah's help. At the Justice Department, Sarah goes to report to Coleman what Devana has done. Coleman needs real evidence, not just a testimony from a killer, and if Sarah has it, he will pursue the case. As Sarah leaves, Coleman reveals to Gerald he won't pursue the case anyway. Later, Dr. Joseph approaches Alex while he is asleep and attempts to inject poison to kill him. But when Alex notices there is no alcohol swab, he suddenly realizes and takes Dr. Joseph hostage. Alex comes out wearing a white fabric cover-up with Dr. Joseph, but the cops mistake Dr. Joseph for Alex and shoot him dead immediately. Alex then rushes into Sarah's car and assumes that Devana owns the FBI, as she had just sent a man who walked past the cops to kill him. At that moment, Alex remembers the location where he has hidden a flash drive marked as Barry, but Sarah doesn't understand what Alex means. Subsequently, Alex exits the car, exposing himself to the cops in an attempt to get them to kill him. At Sarah's office, while he collects pictures attached to the board, he suddenly notices a picture of Alex's bakery with only 4 letters left. Barry. Sarah starts to realize that Alex has given him the location of a flash drive. He goes to retrieve it and later provides it to Coleman. However, it is not enough for Coleman to build a case. Coleman uses the death of Alex as an excuse, stating that without Alex, he doesn't have corroboration. Upon hearing this, Sarah bursts out in anger and insults Coleman as a coward, which ultimately leads to him being fired by Gerald. Eventually, Devana is assassinated by an unknown man in her mansion who is revealed to be Marquez, and with that, the movie concludes. You can watch more videos like this by clicking on the link in the middle and stay safe.